Hi all, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Let's start rebooting work using UiPath. In today's session, we are going to convert the data table into JSON. So in which scenarios we are going to convert the data table into JSON? So basically you will be having a spreadsheet where you will not unable to extract the data since it's not in a similar format or like it's not in a structured way, right? So in those scenarios, what actually we'll be doing? So we have to get the data, so but we are not sure how to pick those data from the Excel, which is in data table, right? So during those scenarios we can able to convert those data table into JSON so that we can interpret with the JSON and then we can extract the data which you are looking for. So let me go to the project, so where I have an Excel, so which is an unstructured data which it contains. So let's wait for the Excel to open up. So here we can see there is some collections of data, so which is in an unstructured format, right? This is not in a structured way, right? So what I was putting here as a not structured, so usually we used to have the column name in the first row, right? So which is name and then so address, so kind of those things, right? So let me try to open one more Excel which is as a structured data. Let me try to open up this one. So you can see this particular Excel, right? This particular Excel is in a structured format. You can able to traversal into the data one by one. So you can mention the column name or like in a, like column row name or like index. You can mention any of those things and you can traversal like each and every node. So you can iterate to each and every data. But in our scenarios, it's not a structured format, right? So during those scenarios, we have to convert this data table into JSON so that we can interpret and we can capture all the data. So let me try to do this up now. As an initial step, so we are going to read this particular Excel, right? So let me go to the activity panel and let me try to drag and drop or read range. Let me drag and drop read range activity. So in this we are going to read this Excel and then we are going to convert this as a JSON now. Okay. So let me click on this folder symbol and then try to mark your Excel and then let me confirm the sheet name. This is sheet 1. It looks perfect. Let me try to remove this range so that it will read the entire Excel and then try to create an output variable, so which is dt details, something like that. Okay, click on OK, perfect. So till now, so we just read this Excel. So as we already know that this particular Excel is not in a structured format, right? So the very next step, what actually we are going to do, since we already have our data table, we are going to convert this data table into JSON now. So let me drag and drop an assign activity. So in this, so control K, JSON body. So anything you can name it up, so up to you. And then so we have going to write an expression which help us to convert this data table into JSON format. Let me open this, maximize, and then so here we are going to write an expression which will convert the data table into JSON, which is Newton dot JSON dot JSON converter. Okay, convert dot, then what actually we are going to do, so we are going to serialize object. After that, inside this bracket we are going to mention our data table name, so which is dt details. That's it, perfect. So what actually this particular assignment activity will do, it will convert the data table and make it to JSON. And then so the very next step, so as we already know that, so it will be not in a readable format, right? To make it in a readable format, we are going to deserialize that one. To deserialize, we should be having an activity which is nothing but UiPath.web API activities, so which I have already installed. So try to install this activity so that you can able to see your in your activity panel the activity which is nothing but deserialize. Let me drag and drop deserialize. Okay, so here we will be having two kind of an activity, so which is deserialize JSON and then deserialize JSON array. So if you are going to extract the data which is an array format, it will be a bracket in front of the starting node. Okay, so in those scenarios we are going to use an array. So if it does not start with the square bracket, okay, so in those scenarios we are going to directly use a deserialize JSON. So let me show you that as well. So here you can see it's starting from the square bracket, right? So in those scenarios, what actually it indicates, it's an array. Okay, in those scenarios we are going to use a deserialized JSON array. In normal scenario, so which if starts with the only like normal parenthesis, okay, like kind of a parenthesis, in those scenarios we are going to use deserialized JSON. So let me try to delete this. So as already I know that it's in a array format. So let me try to pass the input, which is deserialized body and then control K. So which help you to create an output variable for this. Let me name it as JSON array. JRE, copy this. After that, let me try to put in a right line. Okay, perfect. So as we already know that, so it should be converted into toString in a right line. Awesome. So let me save this and run this now. I guess our execution is done. Let me go to the output panel. So here we can see the data has been converted into JSON. Let me try to copy this and go to Notepad++, so which I have already. Let me control to paste over here. Okay, so here what actually you can see, so you can see all the data had been made in a structured way, so that you can interpret to the each and every node and you can extract the data which you are looking for. So if you want a column 2, what I will be doing, I will just directly go ahead and mention the column 2, which help you to operate and get the value of this particular J object. So likewise you can get the address and then each and every data. So let's see in an Excel. So if you are going to normally doing in a for each way, so which usually we used to do, so we are not able to get all the data since we don't have the column name, right? And then it's not in a structured way. But when you see here, it's in a structured way now, right? So you can easily get the data. So once you're converted into the data table into the JSON, so these kind of scenarios will be applicable. So if you're going to get the data, spreadsheet data in a not structured way, in those scenarios you can directly use this way and get the data and get your work easily done. So I hope you like this session. Thanks for watching. Happy learning. Have a good day.